Hey, welcome back to another video where you get the step-by-step breakdown of everything new on Planet UFC. A lot has been happening, not just inside the octagon but also outside. It looks like someone made Dana White angry. And who will be facing off against a former YouTube celebrity in the octagon? How are people reacting to Adesanya's post-fight stunt? Keep watching to find out all the answers. Adesanya versus Pereira's son. We loved the Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira showdown. But to be honest, we loved the drama that followed even more. When Adesanya taunted Pereira's son, we thought he'd get bashed for competing with a 12-year-old kid. But former fighter Kyle Sonnen was impressed by Adesanya turning heel. He said, not knowing any of this would happen, he threw the bows back, took one lap around the octagon, found that young man, and gave him a receipt. When he went down, that was beautiful work that I almost missed. It was incredible. I think he went heel. It's a big deal if he's gone heel. It matters. Not for nothing. You're not square unless you're a heel. If you're a heel, it matters because what will they do next if Izzy doesn't want to fight him? And that's what he said. Now we're done. We're square and you're a heel. If that's true, the audience will push back on your request. Putting him in a trilogy fight with Pereira. I like the receipt he gave his kid. I like the whole thing going and acting like we're square with the world when I got my butt kicked multiple times. But I had a good night tonight. That's a heel move. I like heels. So is Adesanya entering his villain era? And will the drama increase his fighting appeal as Sonnen believes? Well, it has us wondering, so maybe it will. Michael Bisping on Masvidals' retirement. You'd think Masvidals' retirement would be old news by now. But the topic is still hot, and Michael Bisping had much to say on his Believe You Me podcast. He and Anthony Smith believe Masvidal has too much money to find the motivation to fight. Masvidal came from a humble background and didn't have much when he started. He even mentioned in his retirement speech, "I love everybody. I love this sport. I'm a multimillionaire. I didn't start from anywhere. I didn't have anything when I started, and I'm good for life now." Becoming a multimillionaire when you have nothing in the beginning makes you lazy, so it's not easy to wake up for an early morning run when sleeping in silk sheets. But they added, Masvidal's tougher on himself than he needs to be. He was winning the first round till the very end when he gave up that takedown, and Gilbert landed those sporadic ground and pound shots to finish the round. But overall, Bisping believes Masvidal's retirement decision is very timely. He's 38 years old and has 52 MMA contests under his belt, so he is no less than BMF in UFC history. Dana White versus the Schmo. Guess who got on Dana White's bad side? The Schmo asked the wrong question and witnessed White's wrath. The Schmo asked Kevin Holland, WWE UFC merger, one umbrella, past or present professional wrestling. If you could take one person with the street chair to the skull, who would it be? Or UFC fighter, wrestling ring. And even though Kevin tried to dismiss him by saying he didn't want to get into trouble, White took him head on. He said, "Thank you. Any other stupid questions?" And it didn't just end there. He added, "Do you have any intelligent questions you want to ask now?" And then that other idiot gets up there and goes, "Now that the WWE deal is done, who would you like to hit with a chair?" You, that's who we'd like to hit with a chair. Sit down and shut up. I have to deal with that every weekend, listening to these idiots. And Twitter agrees with his reaction. One fan said, Dana White needs to ban the Schmo from press conferences. Another tweeted, fans of the Schmo are the same kind of people who eat glue sticks and glitter like fun dips. Weighing in on Khamzat Chimaev. Josh Thompson and John McCarthy weighed in on Khamzat Chimaev's future fights. They discussed whether he could overcome Robert Whittaker. They want him to fight the top 5 to see if he's just all words or has some action in him. In fact, they're very interested in Chimaev versus Bobby Knuckles. And it's not just them, but Twitter also seems eager for this fight. One fan tweeted, "I'm interested in Khamzat versus Bobby Knuckles." Another wants this to proceed to the title shot. They even suggested Chimaev versus Paul Costa, and they're positive Costa could give Chimaev a hard fight. Also, the Italian beast Marvin Vettori could be the perfect stone wall to test Chimaev's capabilities. Between Costa and Vettori, Thompson and McCarthy believe Costa is faster and more skilled. So what do you think? Comment below who you want to see Chimaev against in the octagon next. But the final verdict was that Chimaev must fight Robert Whittaker before he gets a chance to face off against Izzy in the fight of a lifetime. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. We saved the best for the end. Nate Diaz, a former YouTuber turned fighter, will enter the boxing ring on August 5th. Ariel Helwani broke the news on Twitter with this tweet. Jake Paul was arrogant as ever, tweeting, August 5th, we commemorate the funeral for Nate Diaz, as we send him in a casket back to Dana. Refreshments will be provided at the service. Black tie attire. Dylan Dennis replied to this tweet. Jake Paul loses to the only pro boxer that's his age and weight class, who's actually terrible and immediately returns to boxing retired smaller MMA fighters with CTE. Nate Diaz wasn't far behind posting a trailer to his Instagram. Ben Askren tweeted, Nate fans are gonna cry hard when Jake beats him. MMA Junkie was highly excited about the fight. Terrence McKinney seems excited about the drama this fight will bring. He tweeted, I can't wait for the press conference and shit talking. However, Sean Strickland isn't impressed and calls this fight a joke. Alright folks, that's all for now. Let us know what you think about Diaz versus Paul exchanging fists. Was Dana White right about bashing the Schmo? And who do you think Chimaev should fight to prove his worth? Comment your opinion below, and we'll be back with more updates and gossip in another video.